I do like the under. I don't think they keep it within the number, though. I think you are going to see Notre Dame run all over Navy. I think it's going to get very ugly from the jump. I think the defense is going to lock them down. Yeah, give me the Snakes. I'll lay it today. I think Merrill Kelly pitches really well against them today, but I just think that bullpen is going to get destroyed.
Are you guys hearing what I'm hearing? Javon just took the meat out and faded his own squad. He's fading the Reds today. This is like Christmas. This is unbelievable. Chat, meat on tape tonight for the Commanders ML. I can't stress this enough. I will have a rack on them in the preseason. That's the most I'm going to put on a team in the preseason because it's preseason. But it's my favorite bet so far of the NFL year. If you're not taking it, I can't help you. Football is here, ladies and gents, and you can make some serious coins responsibly on the Commanders ML. What's going on, folks? Happy BTL Wednesday, episode 312 piece. Hold the fry, as always, joined by your co-hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by Pickett Sports. Javon, we needed you yesterday, man.
Yeah. Some unfortunate circumstances prevented me from being here for a majority of it, but we're back. We're ready to die.
The milk is cleaned up, ready to roll?
Yeah, we got it mopped. We're good.
W's. Love it. Flyer Faithful coming in with a sub bang. Krabs is a contrarian better. Yes, he is, Flyer Faithful. W's. We got DeGen, Party of 61 coming in hot. What's up, folks? W's. Make sure you guys check out DeGen streams in the morning before BTL. All right, go check out his page. Go check out his streams. W Degenerate. And we got Big Afro's 22nd birthday. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday to you and that Big Afro, my man. W's. Tip the cap. Love it. Chat, we got a lot to go over today. All right, let's start with the Moose shit recap squad ride from yesterday because that was a loser. The over in St. Louis, Baltimore, that was never the play. That was never a winner. It was too easy. Shit wager.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got the 199 Wainwright day.
Yep. Can't make it up. Looks like maybe he will get 200 this year. It might take him the next month. But he looked okay yesterday. And Javon, great call. A veteran arm getting to these young Orioles bats who are a little too excited up there at the plate. Once again, you saw the veteran get a win against an Orioles lineup. It's their only weakness. Their one kryptonite. We'll see what they can do today against a much worse arm, though. I mean, if they can't hit up Rom and that freaking Cardinals bullpen, they got some bigger issues going on, right?
Yeah, it's kind of the polar opposite of Wainwright, so that's why the Orioles are on the sheet here.
Okay, Orioles are on the meat sheet, folks. Make sure you guys check out the best bets below, and make sure you guys download Pickett, the best bet tracking app out there. If you use legal sports books and you track your bets, even if you don't, what a great way to start out and try it this year for the NFL season. Download Pickett. It's free. Use promo code Javon and send your buddies the referral and get a couple bucks on Venmo. They'll pay you like $3 or $5 a head. Just to download Pickett and start tracking your bets. So check it out. By far the best bet tracking app out there. And I'm seeing in chat, Rom is who the O's traded to the Cards. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, a revenge game. I don't like that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Okay. W's. Let's keep moving and grooving. Let's go over the A team and the B team from yesterday because, man, we were one square short in each entry, Javon. It was always Julian and Mookie. It was never Corbin Carroll, though, man. God,
never was Corbin Carroll. Got to hang it up with him. He's bad. He's bad. Yeah, we can hang it up there.
Let's not kid ourselves. That shit never hits.
That was a shit way. Okay. That was all on me there.
Never ever hits. But it was always Fade Mookie on Freddie Freeman's birthday. He came through for the clutch, and so did King Julian. Okay, so I hope you guys at least cashed on some of those squares. I know this entry was Moose, but if you're like me and you're a freak and you flex these, you cashed a little bit. And let's take a look at the B team here real quick, folks. We'll take a peep. We got Williamson and Walker who did their jobs. And Javon, you can't make it up. Of course, it was Cal Quantrill.
It's always Cal Quantrill, man.
It always is, man.
Yeah, it's one we might have to hang up too. He's looked quite a bit better since he came back, so maybe we just leave it. But I'm happy they got a win there. If that's what it took, I'm cool. I need the Giants to lose.
I know. Yep. And that's brutal because I hate Cal Quantrill. I've hated him for years. And once again, second time this month, he's crushed us in an entry. So I think we put him off to the side. But Chad, this was yesterday. Let's move. We got a game today. We got a game starting up, Javon, in 20, 30 minutes, and it involves your Rays. And your Rays are barely a favorite today against Dallas Keuchel. You getting a little nervous looking at that line?
No, not really.
Not nervous?
No, because it's Taj Bradley, who he not so much as of lately since he came back and tweaked a few things, but right before he initially got sent out of the minors, he was struggling. He was bad. He was painful to watch. It's part of the rotation. So even since he's come back and been a little better, you haven't really seen much line respect for him, in general. So I'm not too scared of this line. I still like the Rays. I think Taj, a lot of his problem, he had a big home run problem before he left, and that's not completely been solved. But I think the Twins are going to get, you see a solo shot from a Jorge Polanco or maybe a Ryan Jeffers or something like that. But I think at least the top of the Rays lineup can get to Keuchel. Honestly, the bottom of the Rays lineup, I have the same bad feeling about, kind of like Wainwright against the Orioles. They have a lot of young guys down there that are super aggressive, and Keuchel's probably going to take advantage of that. But the top, I really like Yandy today. I really like Randy especially. He's probably my favorite prize pick square in the game. But I think they're going to get to him a little early. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Might be a little difficult, but I do still like the Rays.
He's getting bumped. Sorry, I did not mean to pull up the Taj getting clapped. His strikeouts got bumped up from 5.5 to 6, Javon.
Yeah, it's the Twins. Pretty much everybody who pitches against the Twins gets their Ks bumped up. So I'm not too worried about that.
Yandy has a little nut contusion.
He does, but he's playing.
He's playing through.
Is he?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I'm asking you. That's crazy. Yeah. He gets nailed in the cojones this week.
It was a foul ball yesterday, but yeah, he's leading off. I don't know what we're talking about in chat. He's playing.
Sheesh. And Dallas got bumped from 3 to 2.5, I bet. Hey, Keibert Ruiz, he took one in the cojones last year. They had to put him on the IL. Be careful out there, folks. Seriously, it's no joke.
It was he had a foul ball off of the ground that bounced up and hit him in the nuts.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
Can't make it up. Talk about putting meat on tape. Golly.
It's meat on tape. But honestly, just get on base because Randy's bringing him in.
Okay. Randy will bring him home. You want to take Randy on prize picks today?
Yeah, I do.
Fantasy score? That's the only thing they got.
Yeah, that 8 fantasy score. So down.
Okay. Is there another square you like in this game that we could make a little day sweat 2-piece? Yesterday's was close, but no reward there at the end. We took Devers with a Randall McGee, Florial on the Yankees, and he absolutely tickled. Absolutely tickled. I'd love to get some revenge and find a 2-piece in this game, though, Javon. I don't know. Maybe we just square up and go with Matt Wallner. And, yep, I'm going to say his name because you know what happens when I do.
Yeah.
You can take him.
I don't hate him. That's
you can take Wallner.
There's going to be a Taj Turkey in this game, and it's going to be from one of these guys that has a bigger power bat. So it's either, him or Kirilloff are our only options. I really don't care for Kirilloff, so it could just be Matt.
It could be a system play here, folks. Every time I say Matt Wallner's name, he hits a nuke. Why not just take him again? I just said his name.
I really hate that it's half a base instead of the hit run RBI. That's when he's hit, or when he does hit, when he has the hit run RBI.
Yep. Sheesh. Do you not want to force?
I don't love a twin.
Do you want to pair Randy with something else you like later, and we'll just sweat out the Randy square during the day?
Yeah, maybe we could.
Okay. I'm super in for that.
Chad is dying for it.
I got a square that I like that we could put in, but if you got something else up your sleeve you love for the later games, I'm all ears. Maybe we just pair Randy, who you like in this day game, with somebody else.
There is somebody that I like that's a little later of a game. I don't know how long we want to stretch the two in between time-wise, but say we're talking about the Orioles. I like Mountcastle today a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, he's been kind of cold as ice, so it's a little falling knife situation, but Drew Rom, he's literally going to attack them to death. Like I said, it's like the complete opposite of Adam Wainwright, where he's going to kind of nibble around the corners and make them be super aggressive. So it's like baiting them into being, super aggressive against him. Drew Rom is going to attack like a lot of fastball early in the zone, and he's a lefty too. So like Mountcastle is one of my favorite looks today from taking the anybody in the O's, which I want to.
Okay. Mountcastle, who is a red out god, by the way. And yeah, he's been cold. I think they gave him a day off yesterday too, which is good.
Yeah,
I like that
he came
angle
in.
backing him today.
He did come into pinch hit though, I think, for O'Hearn.
Okay. All right. I'm also seeing we got a little Drew Rom MLB Live square from Lauren that she likes.
His
More than
pitches?
16 and a half pitches thrown.
Ooh, I'd be down to put that in. Could do a little collab
I
slip.
mean, she's been on absolute fuego, Chad. Maybe we just pair Rom first inning pitches thrown with Randy, and we go about our day and we craft up some plays for the later games, and obviously use some squares like Mountcastle, some squares like Pablo Reyes, who we're going to talk about in a little bit, for the A team and the B team. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. Would you rather take Gowan instead of Rom? I kind of like Rom.
Yeah, I don't like Allen, I'll be honest. But just in general today, I don't know about the strikeouts. But yeah, I want to take that Rom. I'm down for that.
All right, I'm down. Let's pair with Lauren Square. She's been on fire. Why not? Randy, more than 8 fantasy score, and a little Drew Rom MLB Live, more than 17 pitches thrown. And rumor has it that got bumped up from 16 and a half when Lauren tweeted it out. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, we push. Whatever.
If we push, it's still green. If Randy does his job, right? Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in, chat. A little 2-piece, hold the fry, just to get the juices flowing today. Javon, if you had to take a book play in this game starting up soon, chat needs some afternoon action. What are you taking? Are you just squaring up and taking the Rays on out?
Yeah, I'm taking the Rays. I'm actually going to punch that in too because I do want to sweat it.
Yeah, punch it out. Punch it in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I will say that money line is sketch. That Dallas Keuchel's barely an underdog against the Rays, but the Rays are on the road. They don't have their magical powers on the road. And it's not like they've been playing incredible.
They have. That's the thing. I mean, they have them and the Orioles, the hottest teams in the league last month, most wins in the last month. They've been playing well, but Keuchel gets a lot of line respect and Taj doesn't. That's why I'm still kind of leaning that it's not all that crazy.
What about first 5 angles?
Yeah. I mean, both of them, the Twins bullpen, they manage horribly. It's not like it's terrible, but like they'll make some questionable decisions. The Rays bullpen hasn't been fantastic, but a lot of the guys like Chris Davinsky, who I don't know why they're still employed by the Rays. They pitched yesterday and they blew that game. So hopefully not available today. And you got the A guys coming out of the pen. So I'm fine keeping the bullpens a part of it.
Okay. Let's keep them. Square up, take the Rays on the ML today, chat. If you're looking for a little day game action, don't be scared off or fooled by that short line. Dallas Keuchel has gotten some weird respect since he's come back, and he really hasn't produced. So fade. Square up, take the Rays on the ML. Okay. Let's keep moving and grooving, Javon. We'll get back to baseball in a moment. So we're going to have to spend a lot of time on that finding plays since it's the only games on today, really. And by the way, side note, we need Maction back so bad. So
badly. We need it.
We need Maction so freaking bad, folks. Plain and simple. But let's keep moving and grooving. All right, we got a couple segments today. We're going to do BTL college football rankings, top 10. Very curious to see if you guys align with us, and we'll get to that in a moment here. And then we're going to do some college football and NFL look-ahead lines. All right, chat. Let me know what you guys think of these college football rankings. Me and Javon crafted these up this morning. Our top 10 teams in college football. I think this looks pretty damn sharp. What do you think, Javon?
I agree.
We got Kansas State in there, sneaking in at the 10. People might say that's a little crazy. I don't think that's crazy. I'm a Will Howard guy. I like this Kansas State Wildcats team. Georgia, obviously number 1. Have to be with that cupcake schedule. I don't know if they'll be losing that spot all season. Their hardest game this year is at Tennessee, and they should take care of business there. But Javon, thoughts on Georgia? Have they been taking care of business and doing their job enough for you to say they're still the number 1 team in the country?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, their schedule is so soft that they're really not going to have anybody that's going to knock them off of that throne. I really hope for it. But, yeah, I'm not a huge Carson Beck guy. I've seen him in the first half of both of those games early, and I wasn't all that impressed. But, again, like, who's going to challenge them? Their schedule is ridiculously soft.
Yeah, it's so easy. Carson Beck, I'd say he's done his job. I don't think he's really had to do anything crazy or really win them a game yet. We'll see how he plays against some SEC opponents. But for now, Georgia looks good. They're the number 1 team in the country. and they will stay there for the foreseeable future. Okay. Number 2, we've got Florida State, the Seminoles, ACC stand up. Javon, you're pretty high on this team. You're pretty high on Jordan Travis, and he's got 2 elite weapons in Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman. How impressed have you been with the Seminoles this year?
I mean, they're ridiculous. They're living up to the offseason hype. They're one of like the popular teams, them and like, I guess, Washington, that I really didn't want to fade. And I especially feel good that I did not try to fade any of that hype with the way that Clemson has looked. But that's the best 2 wide receiver tandem in college football, I think. Absolutely ridiculous. Everybody knows about Keon Coleman now. And again, they're going to be playing a lot of very weak defenses too. I mean, starting even this week with Boston College, massive game. In Death Valley next week as well. So we'll find out very soon just how good this FSU team is. But early on, they look amazing.
They look great. I'm so excited to see this team play Clemson coming up, Javon. That's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of how terrible Clemson has looked, I mean, that game in Death Valley is going to be crazy.
Honest question, why does Georgia stay at 1 when they don't play anyone? Shouldn't the rankings be a true week-to-week thing where let's say Texas should be number 1 coming off beating Bama at home, who was the top rank? Why isn't it a true week-to-week poll? This is us ranking the top 10 teams in college football right this second, no matter what their schedules are. And I think that's pretty fair. If we put in teams and used recency bias and put in guys like Texas at 1, coming off a huge win against Bama on the roads, we'd be moving these rankings all around every single freaking week. You'd have a new list of new teams. There'd be no consistency. This is the list of the best teams overall in order, no matter how easy or hard their schedules are.
Yeah, I mean, it's into account a little bit because you got to use the eye test to a certain degree, which is why, I guess Ohio State is below like Notre Dame and Washington for me. But yeah, and I guess same thing relatively with some of the other teams that are left out kind of at the end of this. But yeah, Georgia still number 1. Can't really penalize them for having a weak schedule because they've still done what they've needed to do. It's not like they've looked terrible. They didn't look great in the first half against Ball State, but second quarter on, they look like Georgia. So you can't penalize them for that.
Agreed. 100%. Can you penalize Michigan for how they've been playing recently? I mean, they've been taking care of business without coach. In my opinion, they've been doing their jobs, and they still deserve to be the 3rd best team in the country. They haven't done anything to fall, in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I will say J.J. McCarthy looks pretty solid to open the year, which I would hope that they do against UNLV and ECU. So he looks probably a little better than I expected. But overall, like the explosiveness from the offense is not really there. The defense is always great. It's going to be that, especially against these weaker offenses. But yeah, they're taking care of business. Nothing crazy. I haven't been super impressed. I haven't been extremely disappointed. So, again, we'll see. Not even, I guess, really soon because they don't play anybody either until, like, later in the season. But we'll see. We'll see how they look the next couple weeks.
Okay. We'll see how they look. I've still been impressed with them being able to take care of business without their coach, although he is able to practice with them throughout the week. He just can't manage on game days, so it's not as big of a deal as the public thinks. All right? Let's talk about Texas now because they do deserve some respect, Javon. We've got them at 4. Are you ready to say Quinn Ewers has impressed you enough? Or are you just more impressed with the rest of the team? You are. Okay.
Well, I'm more impressed with the rest of the team because that's the key to making Quinn Ewers good. Like, if he is protected, he can be a very good quarterback. We've seen the skill set when he's done that. We saw that in Tuscaloosa. We saw that, I guess, in Alabama when he was playing that game last year before he got injured. So, like, the rest of that team is much deeper than I think we've seen the last couple of years. So I'm definitely giving them some respect here. So we'll see. I think what decides how I feel about Texas is not going to come from, how they beat Wyoming or Baylor or Kansas the next couple of weeks. It's going to be the Red River. And it's going to be a game that, I don't think they win, but it's going to be a test. I want to find out about this team for real.
Okay, and we will. As we got a hype train concluding here, folks. Dirty Sturdy 06 coming in with a sub bank 2 months. A newbie. W new face. And we got Ian 228 coming in. Let's have a day squad. Yes, sir. We don't have a choice. 19 Jedris, my guy from the Mounts, coming in with a sub bank 16 months. Like lightning. Coming in hot. Let's fucking go, boys. Let's build a balance for the weekend. That's exactly what we're doing today, like lightning. That's exactly what we're doing. All right. Len Bong coming in with a sub bank. WBTLs. Len Bong, we do it all for you, bro. Plain and simple.
Always.
It really is that easy. Okay. But Javon, you've been impressed with Texas. Personally, this is the best Texas team I've ever seen. I know we're only 2 weeks in, but I mean, usually Texas has fucked something up by now and already dropped out of the top 10. But man, they're finally backing up all that hype with a really freaking good football team.
Yeah, we'll find out soon.
Let's see how long it takes for them to fuck it up. Okay, because they always do. But for now, they're number 4. And then USC, obviously, number 5. Javon, they've done nothing to really drop any lower than that. Caleb Williams, probably the best player in college football. Absolute stud, number 1 overall pick coming up in this draft. This team's legit. Any qualms with USC?
No, I mean, their offense is ridiculous. They're the team that's like, their offense is going to put up points no matter what, but they've also played a ridiculously soft schedule. It's like the point where, like, I know what they're going to do offensively, and they should do it against San Jose State, Stanford, and Nevada. They did a lot in the special teams game as well. So, like, again, they've been super impressive, but they did exactly what you would expect. So keep them there until until they kill Colorado and people are impressed.
Wonder what that spread will be set at. Probably way fatter than people expect.
Yeah, probably.
How about the Irish, though, Javon? We already rounded up our top 5. Let's go 6 through 10. How about the Irish? How about Sam Hartman? How about Aldrick Estime and that Notre Dame defensive line? This is one of the better Irish teams I've seen in a little bit, and Sam Hartman might be legit.
Yeah, and the best part about everything for Notre Dame is, like, Sam Hartman's been incredible, but he hasn't really had to be, which, yes, they played 2 games to start their season against inferior competition, so obviously that was going to happen, but this NC State team, especially, like, defensively, they're a decent squad, and this is the most I think I've seen Notre Dame dominate both sides of the ball in the trenches in quite a few years. So, like, there's a reason, like I said, like, Audric Estime leads college football in rushing yards to this point because they've been so dominant on that side of the ball. So, like, especially with the way their schedule looks a little less intimidating now, with Clemson looking the way they have and Ohio State not being all that impressive, and that game is looming very soon in South Bend against Ohio State. Just watch out for the Irish, man. They're a good team. They're a good team.
Marcus Freeman, year 2. The Irish are here. All right. Javon, talk about Washington a little bit. You wanted to move them ahead of Ohio State, and I'm in. You liking Michael Penix? You liking what you're seeing out of him?
Yeah, I think they've been a little more impressive to this point. Even again, they've played Tulsa and Boise State, which, I mean, they're not playing FCS teams. Those are 2 teams who are relatively solid or a step up in competition to some of the other schedules we've seen these teams up near the top 10, top 5 play. But honestly, their defense has been good too, which has been the biggest question mark about them coming into the season. I guess we kind of knew what Penix and the offense were going to do, but secondaries looked much better. Defensive line's getting a little more pressure than I expected coming into the season. So, yes, they've played 2 relatively piss-poor offenses, but, I mean, this is a team that was giving up 20 points to anybody who came and played them last year. So I was impressed by that. So Penix is awesome, and I'm excited to see him.
Penix going to be the second QB off the board in this draft?
I don't know about.
Is he going ahead of Drake May? Because I'm starting to get those vibes. And it's no disrespect to Drake May, who I'm a huge fan of. And I'm even saying maybe Drake May should be number 2, and maybe this hype is a little bit too much. But Michael Penix, I mean, the play just keeps backing it up. The guy's got a fucking cannon.
Yeah, I mean, as far as he's like a great college quarterback, and I'm not saying he's not going to have success in the NFL, but when you view it through like the lens of an NFL prospect, like, I'm not trying to pretend like I'm a GM or not, but like they're definitely going to see Drake May as the more upside there and kind of the safer pick. So, like, he's a guy that he's good, but he's probably going to get more hype than he's really worth. So Penix probably pretty low on.
Okay. And then Ohio State at 8. I mean, Javon, is Kyle McCord going to be good enough? He looked pretty good last week. I will say I think he had 3 touchdowns, no picks. Week 1, he didn't really have to do much. This team hasn't shown us much yet. How are you feeling with Ohio State? Let's get a pulse check.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been too impressed with McCord outside of, like, I mean, Marvin Harrison is doing his thing. He's a safety blanket, so, like, that's kind of how the offense is designed. But really, anything outside of Marvin Harrison or targeting him, I haven't been impressed. The run game's not as dominant as I would have hoped, or anybody backing Ohio State or TreVeyon Henderson and his props would have looked. So that's a concern, especially, again, with the game in South Bend looming here in a couple weeks. I wouldn't say I'm concerned about this team necessarily, but they haven't done anything to really prove to me that they're up there with the big guys right now that have had really good performances like FSU or Texas or even USC yet.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I'm with you. They haven't done anything to be in that top 5 yet, in my opinion.
No.
So we'll keep them at 8. How about Penn State at 9, Javon? Drew Aller. This kid is freaking nasty.
He's good. Man. He's good. He definitely needs some time to grow, though, which, again, I don't know if they're going to lose this game. It's a big whiteout game, in 2 weeks against Iowa at home, but that's where I'm really going to make my judgment on what Drew Aller is. And that's going to be a really tough test for him. Like, he's still young. He's still inexperienced. Like, he's going to have these growing pain moments. And I think we saw some of those despite in this West Virginia game, even though we saw some highs as well, like the play on the screen. So I'm interested. Judgment's out for me on him. We'll find out, though.
Okay. I've been impressed overall. Yeah, he's made some mistakes, but I think they got their QB of the future. And let's not sleep on Penn State and Coach Franklin. I mean, all they do is win. Plain and simple. So we got them at 9. And then we got Kansas State at 10. This might be the wildest take, I guess you could say, for our rankings. We really didn't do anything crazy, though. But putting Kansas State at 10, Javon, look, I'm a Will Howard guy. I like this kid. They got a veteran at QB. I know they lost Deuce Vaughn to the NFL, to the Cowboys, Javon, but they got a couple other RBs who are stepping up. That defense is still pretty damn good. I'm a Kansas State Wildcats fan, and you're with me. You like them at 10.
Yeah, I do. And I mean, especially when we're talking about a couple of the teams that are like in the actual rankings, like above them, like 10 to 15, 10 to 14, like Alabama is up there, frankly, because of their name. If they were any other team, they would have dropped by now. But obviously Jalen Milroe is an issue. Tennessee, the skill positions don't look good, despite like Joe Milton hasn't impressed me, but also his wide receivers haven't been helping him out. So
they can't catch shit.
No, they literally can't. So I mean, I think they're in a little bit of trouble this week, but that's maybe for a conversation in a second. Utah's in a weird spot with no Cam Rising. Oregon's the other team that I'll put up here, 1A, 1B, but their defense is obviously an issue. So we'll see. It's really Kansas State and Oregon State, or Oregon up there for me, but Kansas State, I love Will Howard. I love the skill position guys that are extremely deep. I think honestly they're deeper than we saw last year, and the defense is still there for the most part. So we'll see. Will Howard is good.
Yes, he is. He keeps getting better. He's aging like a fine wine in college football, and those are QBs I want my coins on. Underrated guys, not big name dudes. He's not Caleb Williams, but he plays like it sometimes. I mean, he's got a freaking cannon, doesn't have the feet. Okay, but Will Howard is a guy I feel comfortable putting my coins on, a college football veteran who's gotten better every season. I'm in.
Yeah, 100%.
Chat, any qualms with this college football top 10 rankings? Let me know in chat. What do you disagree with? What do you agree with? But overall, not too crazy. Pretty standard. You know, you might bitch about not having Bama in here. You might bitch about not having Colorado in here. But I could have told you that wasn't going in. I mean, give me a freaking break. You think we're putting them in the top 10? They shouldn't even be in the top 25. But I think this is a pretty damn good top 10, Javon. Kansas State sneaking in there. Georgia still top dog. No pun intended at 1. Chat, any qualms? Yeah, why is Colorado not number 1 yet? I don't know.
Should be 1.
I don't know.
Should be better than Georgia.
Can we talk about Deion Sanders ranking his children? Yeah. Honestly, Goods, pull up the freaking tweet that Mikey tweeted yesterday about it, because it is weird. And we can talk about it when we get to that game. But right now, chat, we're going to go over some college football and NFL look-ahead lines. If you join BTL late and you're looking for a day game action play in Tampa Bay and Minnesota, Javon's on the Raise ML. I don't hate it. I mean, fade Dallas Keuchel, you're probably in a good spot. And then we got a little 2-piece on Prize Picks we're sweating. Randy Rosarina, more than 8 fantasy score. And we're pairing it with Lauren's MLB Live Square for later today. Drew Rom, more than 17 pitches thrown. Little 2-piece to take the edge off, folks. Okay. Bama would waste Kansas State, Dead Larry Bird says. I don't know if they would right now.
No.
I don't know if they would.
I don't know why we're still using the Bama would beat any team argument. That's what they said about TCU last year of the playoff. They're saying if they were to play, it's what Nick Saban said too. He's like, if they were to play, who would be the favorite? Well, who won in the playoff against a team that was in that you didn't really have any argument for? So let's leave it all to the side.
What's the book play for the Rays game? Dave Martinez, can you get the boys locked in? We got a freaking debut on the mound today. You should be in the locker room. But if you need some day game action, Rays in. Okay? As that line continues to tick down. That is so sketchy.
I don't know why it's ticking down here. I see it ticking up everywhere else.
Weird. Okay. Chat, we're going to do some college football and NFL look ahead lines. If you need day game action, Raise ML and that 2-piece on Prize Picks that we tweeted out on BTL. And then we're going to go over some MLB plays for today, chat. We got plenty of time. Don't you worry. Let's take a peep at some of these lines that have came out in college football, Javon. Chat, if you guys are in here, vibing, if you got buddies who are also betting on sports, feel free to send the Twitch link in your gambling group chat. I know you guys all have them. Don't act like you don't. Send a link, all right? Help a brother out. We've been printing for squad rides for months, giving out plays for free. Share the link from the Twitch to your buddies. Get them in here, all right? We need all hands on deck with football and chat for the squad rides, okay? Get your buddies in here for the squad ride at 1:50 p.m. Eastern. Go, go, go. Send the link. Let's keep moving, chat. Kansas State, Mizzou. Speak of the Devils. Kansas State, Javon, let's get right to it. They're laying 4.5 on the road against Mizzou. Are you sketched out by that?
Yeah, a little bit. This is an interesting spot because, they're going on the road to a Missouri team that just let Middle Tennessee State go on the road and hang with them for a majority of that game. So I want to pay attention to how this spread moves. Maybe if there's any, I haven't checked the weather, but it seems like there's a couple weather games, especially in like the Midwest and Northeast part of the country that are affected. So I don't know if this is part of it, but a lower total than we have a spread ticking down. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this one because I do think this is kind of the look ahead was a little short at like 1 to 1.5. Then they reopened it at 4.5, 5. So if it keeps ticking down, I'm a little scared for Kansas State and Will Howard.
Okay. Hopefully Josh and Nick, our guys, are watching this in the background. I'm sure they're hyped for this game. Mizzou welcoming the Wildcats at home. I'm sure that place will be packed. Mizzou is 2-0, and there is some new hype surrounding that program as well, Javon.
Yeah.
That's going to be sketch. And I know we just gassed up Kansas State, but I wouldn't be surprised if I end up being on Mizzou. And the points back in that defense that I do believe in. I don't know if I like their offense, but back in that defense at home with the total down to 48.5, Javon, it might be Mizzou.
I'll tell you what, for me, I will not be fading Kansas State, but it's either squaring up with Kansas State, knowing that I'm doing it, or staying off if it continues to tick back. But I will not be pushing the Mizzou button this week.
Wow. All right, I might have to do it for you then. Okay.
Yeah.
But interesting line there, chat. And we're not here to tell you what plays to lock in yet. We're here to show you weird lines as we look ahead since they just dropped. And we're showing you guys what's happening, how they're moving, how they're grooving, and our opinions. You don't got to lock in these plays right this second. Okay? Let's keep going. Let's go to Florida State, Boston College, Javon. You're a BC guy this season. That total has been creeping down 6.5 points. The spread's creeped down 2 points towards Boston College, but not so fast. It might not be football moves. It might be weather moves. Word on the street is there's going to be 25-mile-an-hour winds up there in the Northeast on Saturday and probably some rain, 70% chance as of right now. That could all change, but as of right now, that's probably why these numbers are moving, right, Javon?
Yeah, 100%. And usually hate trying to be a weatherman this far out of the games because it is Wednesday, but there was a reason. There had to be something going on with that big of a move on the total, and I guess you looked into it and found out why. So it could get interesting. I don't think BC is going to keep this game, within like a touchdown or two, nothing crazy, but it could stay in this game. I still think, even with the weather included, that total being so low with how putrid BC's defense has looked, which is the surprising part about the season, it's pretty interesting. Especially, this is a pretty big look-ahead spot here for FSU too, with the Clemson game looming next week. So could get interesting, at least early in the game. I wouldn't mind. I'm not there yet of how I'm looking at the game, but maybe a little BC first half and FSU pulls away late and gets kind of near that 26-28.
Okay, get out with the first half. BC welcomes in, maybe a little fat happy could play some Florida State team, and they catch him sleeping in the first half. Get out. I'm in. That's a decent angle. Okay. Because we know that Florida State could come out in the second half and put up a 50 pace.
That's probably what they'll do. And I can guarantee you too, if the conditions are like this, BC is not a team that's just going to run down your throat, especially against Florida State, but they're going to play the TOP game in this one. They're going to try and keep the ball for a while, keep them in it.
Okay. I'm down. Give me BC, give me the points, give me the first half points, because we might need that. I can see Florida State coming out hot. I can see that game going into half tied with some shitty weather, and then Jordan Travis and co. run up the score. I can see it.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's go to Washington and Michigan State. This is a good one. Some turmoil going on in Michigan State. No coach, although that might be a good thing for that program because he stinks. Washington laying 16 points on the road here, Javon. How are you targeting this game?
I still kind of want to take Washington. I hate that it's I believe it opened 13.5, 13. Yep. So I hate that it's kind of crossed the 2 touchdown mark. So I want to pay attention to this one and see how it moves too. But it's hard to imagine, especially with whatever's going on with Mel Tucker in the program. So I mean, I think Michigan State's defense, we targeted that early in the season. We were talking about them going into the season, and against Washington, I don't think they're going to be able to hold up. So, I mean, it feels like a square up Washington rolls type spot. But again, keeping a close eye on this line, make sure it doesn't tick back anymore to where it feels like it's a guy that lands on 14.
Okay. Yep. Definitely not back in Michigan State, although I don't really want to fade them. It is a coach system play here, grabbing the points, but I'm not even crazy enough to back that program or that team. If anything, play with Washington or stay off, but that's a fat spread, up to 16 most places. All right.
Yeah.
Michael Penix should cook. He should cook.
That has been a pretty weirdly key number of notice too early in the season. I mean, it's been 2.5 weeks technically, but games like Oklahoma kind of settled there, 16.5, won by 17, and I've seen that a couple times early in the season. So maybe that's a number to watch for.
Yeah. Okay. Dubs, let's keep moving and grooving. Here's a game where I don't really understand the line, but I'm so in on backing the dog on the road here. South Alabama against Oklahoma State, Javon. This line opened up at 9. It's down to 7, and that juice is loose on South Alabama spread. Are they getting it done? Are they keeping this within a touchdown against an overhyped Oklahoma State team?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think they do. This is a strange game. I honestly would think it was weird if it was 7. South Alabama was at home too. See it on the road is pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, at this point in the season, when you have a team who squeaked by, really not through anything themselves at Arizona State, it was a lot of mistakes on the other side, a lot of turnovers that gave them good field position, kind of in the second half where they really shut them down. I think South Alabama keeps this one close, and they will certainly be in business to win this game in the end, I think. So looking at that low total, I think it's a slugfest, kind of similar type scoring that we saw in the Arizona State game last week. So watch out. South Alabama, I think, is better than a lot of people realize as well. And when you got a team with really no set quarterback decision, it's a weird spot.
And South Alabama has yet to cover, but they've gotten some serious line respect in their first 2 games, which tells me, yeah, Vegas is hip. They know this team is decent, and they're giving them respect a third time when they haven't covered the first 2 weeks. Yeah, go ahead and lock in USA +7. And this is one of those plays, chat, that maybe you do lock in right now for a unit because that line is only getting shorter. And I am starting to see some 6.5s pop up, Javon. So maybe lock that in for you as of right now. I probably will after BTL because we might not get a 7 come kickoff.
Yeah, that's true. That might be the one to go for.
Yep. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving here, folks. We got Tennessee versus Florida. Ooh, this is a good one. Little QB battle. Graham Mertz versus Joe Milton. 2 mid QBs who are overhyped, overvalued. Javon, is it the under?
Oh, it certainly could be the under. I think Florida stays in this game, and that's probably the only way that it's going to happen. So I feel like Florida is a mandatory bet, especially the fact they crossed that 7 so quickly. We're already starting to see 6.5s. Before the season, I guess it's when I thought both of these teams were going to be a little better than they are, more so Tennessee or what they've shown so far. I kind of penciled this out as a little tough, trappish game for Tennessee going on the road to the Swamp. And look, I can't stand Graham Mertz. I can't stand that offensive line, but this feels like a really tough spot for Tennessee going on the road.
Yeah.
So I'm all in on taking the Gators this week.
Okay. B-ball player co saying, sit down, Randy, in chat. I'm assuming you faded the slip, huh? Maybe it worked out for you in the first inning. He's not even up?
Andy just struck out.
Okay. I mean, what are we doing, folks?
I don't know what we're doing.
What are we doing? Jack, keep us updated. Ron Lux Clan coming in once again, giving out a sub, Javon. We got our goat in chat, Ron. Absolutely.
That's the goat right there.
We got Miguel Huele. Definitely said that wrong, but my man sub banging on Prime. Let's go, Beast. Appreciate you. Let me know what your favorite play is today, Miguel. Need to know. Okay. Javon, I guess it is Florida. I will say this total in the game has come down 9 points from the opener. It was very, very shortly at 67.5. Yep, you heard me correctly.
Was it the opener or the look ahead?
It was the look ahead line from probably about 9 or 10 days ago. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense, though.
Yep. All the way down to 58.5, and that juice is still moving on the under. So, is that an out?
That was
Randy
ripped to third. GG.
Just not going to cut it, man.
Let them lock in.
Let them lock. All right. So it's probably Florida, probably the under there. Interesting movement on the total, and we've already seen Tennessee move from -7.5 to -6.5, folks. So it's probably the Gators. All right. BYU, Arkansas, Javon, you want to touch on the Mormons real quick?
Yeah, this is a pretty weird game too, because I've talked about what we saw last year was one of the highest scoring games. That was one of my biggest plays, I think, of the year. I don't know why, but on that over, and now we're seeing two teams that have regressed significantly offensively. And BYU, I want to target their defense a lot in the Big 12, but the SEC and Arkansas presents a very different challenge. Like, the defense has been good to this point because they've been playing teams that are good matchups for them. So I don't know if Arkansas is going to be too different. Double for the Rays, huh?
I freaking bet.
Let's see who's up now. Oh, it was Harold. It was Harold double.
Yep.
Oh, you got Paredes at the dish now.
Okay. Come through, Paredes. What do you say, kid?
I love a Paredes nuke.
Okay.
That would be huge.
Also, Miguel, first-time chatter after sub-banging. I asked him what he's on. He said, I'm riding POD Pete's over 11.5 in the Cubs game. All right, Miguel. Let's freaking go, my dude. W's.
Rooting for
Hope you cash. Hope you cash. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. TCU versus Houston, Javon. Your Horned Frogs. This is a tough game. On the road, I believe, at Houston. Not too far of a trip, a couple hours, right?
Yeah.
A little rivalry action here. You guys play every season or not?
No, this is the first time in a while because they're in the Big 12 now.
Very cool. Yes. Is it Houston plus 7.5? I know this line opened up at 7, so it is moving towards TCU. And that total also, I saw the look-ahead opener was 48.5. That must have been after week 1 because it's all the way up to 64.5, Javon. That seemed like a bad line as we get a warning track shot in Minnesota. Oh,
I bet.
But tell me about the Frogs against Houston in the spot.
They ain't covering, man. This is a Houston in the over spot. Like, Houston, the one thing that they're going to do is there's a team who can allow you to get playmakers out in space and just do pretty much what Colorado did. They're just going to dump off a bunch of short screen passes and plays underneath, and then you're going to have to rely on the secondary, who is one of the worst tackling units in college football, to make tackles in open space. So, like, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a track meet, and TCU will probably win this game by like a field goal, and it'll be something pretty late. But I think it's going to be a back and forth game. I think it'll be honestly pretty similar to how the Colorado game played out, with a similar little game script. So I think we see a lot of points. This total's been on the rise even since it reopened. I think at like 61.5, 62. Yeah, I do not like the Frogs to cover this one for sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah, give me Houston. Give me the points. That team might be pissed right now, but that line is a little short, and I'll take the points at home against a fraudulent TCU team as of right now.
Yeah, they're bad.
They're just not good. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Rams playing against Colorado and the Buffs. You guys heard of this team? You guys talked about this team this year? Colorado? They're okay. Their offense is pretty good. Their defense is mid, though. Javon, I'm not going to be fading Colorado State here, at least not publicly. Maybe a sneak wager on the ML for Colorado State for the odds. Is there any chance this Colorado State team, is there any chance Clay Millen is good enough to keep this one within the number for the Rams?
Dude, Clay Millen is so bad. So bad.
Man.
So bad. But no, they're the greatest team of all time. So Colorado minus 23.5.
You got to show the picture first, Goots, so people know what's going on.
It's actually
we got
insane.
We got a Coach Prime Suns ranking list. I didn't even know this was a thing. Think it's a joke. If it is, I'll honestly tip my cap to Coach Prime because it's hilarious. If it's not, it's kind of weird. But we've got Coach Prime ranking his kids. Maybe this guy is just a different breed. I don't know. Maybe he's just built different. Maybe this is how he's wired. Maybe this is why he's so successful at everything he does. All right, so I'll give him credit there. But you can't be ranking your children. I've never seen anything like this before. The only time I do is when my dad jokes about who the favorite kid is in the Fan. Well, now we see Deion Sanders putting the pen to paper and making an Instagram post ranking his children. Happy birthday to my favorite son, Deion Sanders Jr., which I already feel like he has an unfair advantage there. I mean, his name is Deion Sanders, right? So he's probably already going to be number one. There's some bias there. And then you got a rankings list of, you're the number one son and the number one on the kids' rankings currently. So he must be updating this puppy every couple of weeks, like an NFL power rankings. This is ridiculous. I guess Deion Sanders Jr., he takes the cake on his birthday. He deserves being number one on his birthday, though, I'd say.
That's
not insane. A bad rankings.
It's insane.
Not a bad
Shedeur at 3 is wild.
Shedeur at the 3 with how he's been playing, a little disrespect. Maybe there's some stuff behind the scenes here we don't know about, folks. We'll leave the family business to the Fan. And we'll leave it there. But how is Shedeur not number 1 or number 2? We'll give Deion Jr. a break on his birthday. We'll put him number 1. But putting Shalomi over Shedeur, maybe there's some stuff going on there in-house. I don't know. But Javon, how crazy is this?
Shiloh, I swear, every time we talk about him in the media, it's just always Shiloh just getting clowned. Just like
he gets the short end of the stick.
You might have to hang him up because I mean he's last on the list. They're talking about everything on the field, obviously being primarily Shedeur, and they do their little walk pregame where he's like, "I'm dad," and that's super cool and everything. Then Shiloh's just sitting there like, "Man, what are we doing? What are we doing?" He might have to hang him up. Yeah, Shiloh and SBR. Got to join them. That's crazy.
Off into the sunsets. Love it. Shiloh and SBR hang the cleats up and walk off. Okay, it's over. You ain't moving up those rankings. Okay, let's get this off the screen and let's talk about the football game. Javon, what are your thoughts, man? The spread opened up at what? I think it was look-ahead line was 17, I believe, like a week and a half ago. And now this line is all the way up to 23.5. Javon, what's the play?
Yeah, just take Colorado. Let's do it every game.
Yeah, just take them on the spread. They should cover every single game the whole season as they go to the national championship.
Yeah, they will, for sure. Take them against Oregon and USC too. But I do actually kind of like them in this spot at Colorado State. Their defense has been god-awful to start the year. And, like, they're going to do everything, honestly, that TCU kind of let Colorado do is going to be a lot underneath where, like, Shedeur really won't have to do all that much except find the open guy. And then there's going to be rouse of like awful tackling and a lot of missed assignments. So yeah, they should roll in this one. I'd hope like 24-point favorites.
Yep, they should win, but I don't know if they're going to cover. We'll see though, Chad. Maybe they'll just cover and win every game by 50. Who knows? At this point, wouldn't be surprised. What about the total? Over under?
Over. I mean, I think regardless of how it plays out, they're going to score a lot of points. This is a putrid Colorado State defense, or at least they've been so far. So Colorado's defense not great, obviously, either. But, yeah, they should get points in this one regardless.
Okay. Macy, he might have my notifications on. Maybe I keep the fades to myself this week. Okay. Javon, let's keep moving and grooving. We got a couple more games. Fresno State, Arizona State. What's up with this line? We've seen a little flip action here, Javon. The look-ahead line, I think, was Fresno State plus 2.5 at least a week and a half ago. And now we're seeing Fresno State up to -3, -3.5 some places. You're thinking this might be too much of an overreaction, and maybe you're even back in the Sun Devils?
Yeah, that's how I'm kind of feeling. A lot of mistakes, like we were talking about in the Oklahoma State game. A lot on the turnover front. If you look at like the play calling too, or at least I guess execution more so, there was a lot of weird stuff. Like there were a couple missed wide open throws by Rashada, which he's very inexperienced at this point. So like you're going to see that. A lot of just strange. Like they had wide receivers that were completely outside of like the route they're supposed to run. So he was overthrowing them by 50 yards because they're running it in instead of a go route. Like a lot of that stuff that I think is going to get cleaned up. So they haven't looked good to this point. And Fresno State, I mean, they look great in beating Purdue. Then they had the crazy game last week against Eastern Washington where they really didn't look that good. So I think it maybe is a little overreaction. I'd go with Arizona State at home. But again, another line that I'm going to keep a close eye on.
Yep. Give me Fresno State M now. They might not cover at this point. The line has moved too much, but I do think they get a win, and I love the line movement. And I'll take any weaker conference school like Fresno State against Arizona State any day of the week. Although, are they in the same conference? Is Fresno in the – Fresno's not in the Pac-12. They're in the WAC, aren't they?
Yeah, in the WAC. They might have to be in the Pac-12 after this season if they want to.
They probably will be.
They might not have a choice after
not
a
yet.
while.
Yeah. All right, I'm with you. Look at that. Colorado, Oregon look-ahead lines. We're doing a look-ahead line on the look-ahead lines. Was that 14.5 I'm seeing? Oregon's line?
Yep.
Wow. All right, we'll see where that line moves after this weekend when Colorado State wins outright. Fat Girls Inc. giving out 5 sub bangs, my man. Unbelievable. Fat Girls Inc., you're my guy. Appreciate it, my man. You're a beast. Ron, you're a stud. Appreciate you giving out a sub bang as well. W. Lath. Yep. All right, let's look real quick at some NFL lines. We're not going to spend too much time on this. We got MLB to talk about, folks, and we got plenty of games we like. Let's talk about a couple, though. Yesterday, I mentioned in the stock up, stock down segment, Javon, a couple teams who people are going to overreact and say that they're caked, like the Chiefs. People are going to bitch about Nova Hennemy. They're going to bitch about that line looking like crap and then playing like crud in week 1 and losing. They're going to bitch about the Bills. Obviously, don't even have to go into that. Josh Allen losing them that game. They're going to bitch about, the Jets not having a QB now. I don't know who the heck they're going to get, but we will be seeing. They're playing Dallas this week. But let's look at some of these lines for some of these teams who the public might be overreacting to their week 1 results, Javon. Jags are +3 against the Chiefs, and you're already hearing a lot of Mahomes love, huh?
Yeah, it'll be W Alec. I'll see if I'm there in Ray J, but W sub.
Let's go, Alec.
W.
5-piece. Hold the prod.
Go.
Holy smokes. 5U whale chat. If you just got blessed with a sub bang, even if you didn't, can we get some W's in chat for Fat Girls Inc., for Alec, for Ron? Let's get some W's going for the SWAT, please.
Yeah, way to go. But yeah, this is a strange game. I've seen the same post, I think, 500 times on Twitter now. Take this line at like -150 or whatever it was. This is going to move. There's no way that with Kelsey coming back, Chris Jones coming back, the Chiefs are not starting 0-2. There's no way. So take it now. Lock it in now. And whenever that happens, I can tell you it doesn't end up very well. So I will be staying far, far away from the Chiefs this week for sure.
Yep. And I'm in no rush to bet the Jags, but I sure as heck will be. And I do think if Kelsey gets ruled in, and Chris Jones will be playing, I'm assuming, but once that's confirmed, I'm sure you'll see the bets absolutely flowing in on the Chiefs, and you might even see that line tick up to 3.5. I don't know, but I'm in no rush. And even if it gets to Jags +2.5, then we got some reverse line movement there because we know the Chiefs are going to be public after a week 1 loss. It's a win-win. So I'm chilling, but I definitely am targeting the Jags on the spread.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's take a look at the Bills, Javon. They're laying 8.5, 9.5. Some places. I think they're up to 9.5 most places now, actually, against the Raiders, who pulled off a nice little win against the measly Broncos in week 1, Javon. We got to lay with the Bills, right?
Yeah, I mean, this seems like just the classic bounce back spot. I mean, the Raiders looked decent. Oh, we got a Josh Allen nugget here.
Josh Allen last year, after 2 interceptions week 1, the following week, he had 4 touchdowns in a blowout win. Yes, the year before, when he played like crud in week 1, 35-0. 2020, he had 4 touchdowns in week 2 after a poor week 1. He is 4-1 straight up in week 2. He always starts slow, and he always skull fucks in week 2. Yes, he does, Fat Girls Inc. You know ball, and I've been seeing a couple tweets. I couldn't freaking find it. I wanted to show you guys yesterday. It was a graphic of Josh Allen's week 1 stats. They were all terrible. This guy always plays terrible in week 1. He's a nervous Nelly. He throws up before every game. All right, he gets in his own head. If that wasn't clear from his post-game presser of him talking about him fucking up the game once again, I don't know what is. But the Bills, at the end of the day, are stacked. Josh Allen has all the talent in the world, and that defense is top 3. Maybe the Jets do have an edge there against the Bills. Maybe you flip-flop them, and you put the Jets number 2 and the freaking Bills at 3. But either way, that's a top 5 defense, and they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine.
I'm hoping we get this the square on Prize Picks too. Goots, click on the Bills game, and then go to the passing props.
And as he's looking, we got a first-time chatter from T Target saying, "Let's go Buffs." That might be a player on the team.
Let's go.
That could be Coach Prime.
Buffs.
Let's go Buffs. I'm assuming he's still talking about Colorado.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know though. Maybe he's talking about Buffalo. Either way,
yeah,
could be Cake.
It's probably Buffs. It's probably Colorado, but
probably Buffs.
Yeah, I think we get a massive bounce back game from Josh Allen. He's going to tear apart this Raiders defense, which will look decent against a pretty shitty Broncos offense and one that still has a ways to go. But I don't know if that's going to to last. It's just a big classic bounce back spot.
Yep. Lay the points. Give me the Bills in week 2. They destroy the Raiders, who had a nice little win in week 1. Okay. Two more games real quick. We got Packers in Atlanta. Javon, you think it might be a little overreaction to how well the Packers played in week 1 with this line, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, a lot of people after watching that performance from Jordan Love. 1 second, let me tell it's ready to go here. But yeah, after seeing that Jordan Love performance in week 1, if this line sticks where it is, I mean, it's going to look pretty free. After a Falcons team that looked decent, especially defensively, which is why I invested into him a little bit this year. But yeah, that quarterback situation is still terrible. Desmond Ridder is still bad, but this defense is going to be a much bigger challenge than what we saw from the Bears. They look putrid in every form or fashion, and especially with Christian Watson coming back into the fold. If this line is sticking, there's a problem there. And I'm all first team Jordan Love, no pun intended. But a
Raise
little reaction.
bang.
There we go.
Raise bang. Let's go, Javon. There we go. Break the seal.
Huge.
Love
Basabe goat.
Sure. Love it.
What do you mean?
Jordan Love, him and
Stop hating. I'm not hating. I love Jordan Love, but he really didn't have to do much against the Bears defense. I think he's going to be really good, and we've started to see that. But yeah, Goots, put up that line for the Bills game that I was talking about a little bit.
Ooh.
Minus 125 did not throw a pick, I bet.
Wow.
I bet.
Wow.
Yeah, sure.
Great sign. I mean, he is going against a much weaker defense. Let's not kid ourselves here. Great sign.
But you would think, too, this is also a much weaker secondary, so he's also going to have to be damn near just as pass happy as he was, at least early in the game, against this defense. It's like they're much worse, obviously, but there's going to be relatively the same amount of volume there. So
100%.
You got to do it.
Fantasy talk, would you try and sell Garrett Wilson or keep him and back on his talent? I don't know what to do. If you sold him right now, if you trade him right now, you're selling low. I never do that. So I'd probably hold him and see what's good and see if they bring in a new QB. If not, Zach Wilson seemed to have a pretty good rep with him. So I wouldn't be stressing too much. And guys, I'll run a TikTok live tonight and we'll go over some fantasy football stuff. So save your questions for fantasy football for then. Join me on the TikTok live later. We'll go over them. Okay, right now we need to find winners for today. One more game, Javon. Jets and Dallas. Just want to take a peep at this line. Leave the people with this because we do see an absolute, crazy line shift here in this spot. Not really surprised with Aaron Rodgers going down. This game was highly anticipated. Now it's probably going to be Zach Wilson versus the Cowboys, who looked unbeatable in week 1. Javon, the spread's up to 9.5. It was at 3 originally. Is this where it should be with Zach Wilson at QB?
Yeah, it is. I don't know what I want to do with this game, though, especially seeing that 9.5 start to tick back to some 9s. I mean, it seems like kind of the obvious play here. I know the Jets look good with Zach Wilson. A lot of that was their defense. A lot of that was Josh Allen. But they got the job done. So I'm not willing to go back to fading them right out of the gate, which I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I'm a Zach Wilson believer for the majority of the season. But first week after everything goes down against a team who, I mean, they did disgusting, probably illegal things to the Giants in week 1 in that Sunday night game that was also nationally televised. It seems really easy. I don't know. I want to see what the people are on for that game once we kind of get closer.
This also seems very easy.
Yeah,
we'll leave it at that.
It does.
Okay. He ain't throwing a pick, man. He ain't. All right, chat. Let's move. Let's groove. And yeah, the Manders probably will lose to the Broncos, but that game might be a square up and take the under type of game. Nobody's going to be scoring in that one. All right. Let's keep going. Let's do some MLB, Javon. All right. We've done enough NFL. We've done enough college football. Look at headlines. Let's talk about some games today. All right. I know you don't have a cheat sheet yet, but can you give the people a rundown of these games? Maybe just power through the slate. And I'll chime in if I got plays I like.
Yeah, we can power through a couple. This Cubs-Rockies game is, I don't know if I want to do much with it. On paper, it seems like kind of the easy play to take the over, which is why we've talked about it, or not talked about it, but if you go on Twitter and scroll, you'll see it 1,500 times today, especially after the first 2 games have gone over. So I don't necessarily have an issue with that. Cubs have been a little worse against lefties than they were like beginning of the season. They went through like their little, Nationals-like arc, except the Nationals are kind of back against lefties a little bit. The Cubs really haven't moved much in the last month or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of back. Still bad, but they're at least not striking out and a little better. And then Tyone, again, a guy who gets hit hard. Rockies hit the ball hard. This is in Coors, so like that's a majority of the reason why a lot of people like this over. It started to tick down from 12 to 11.5, so I have absolutely no interest in getting involved in the over there. Probably lean under if anything, but probably not one that I want to go to the grave with. And yeah, they both went under the first two games, Jaden. So that's why it's a pretty popular play today. So I'm kind of good off of this game personally. Next game, Guardians Giants in San Fran. Logan Allison, Kyle Harrison, two lefties. Kyle Harrison, I'm interested to see how he does this game around because this is the first time he's really faced a team who is not going to strike out like as little amounts as the Guardians do. Obviously, that's kind of his specialty. He's a strikeout artist. He throws a lot of fastballs. The secondary is what gets him strikeouts. But again, first time he's facing a team like the Guardians. So I think they're going to be pesky today. Not one that I'm willing to go to the grave with either as far as side or total. But I'd lean the Guardians to kind of make it a little interesting. I still think he's going to pitch well, but it's a little different of an approach that he's going to have to take today. So I'm not all in on backing him necessarily. And yeah, Kyle Harrison over walks, Nick saying that he likes. I don't hate that at all. I think this is going to be the first time that one of these teams is really going to push him to be a little less aggressive in the zone because you can't just overpower them very consistently like he did with, the Reds or another one of these teams that he's faced. So we can go through that and we can go up to go to the Gamecast or the 3D since we got Ducks, Goots.
We got Ducks
in Minnesota.
Sure. And we also got some sub bangs and we got some bits. Flyer Faithful coming in hot. Boots on ground, Tigers, and meat glued Reds tonight. Need a play and or two-piece prize picks entry. Okay. All right, Flyer Faithful. You gave us 100 bits. I'm sure we can find you something. Javon.
Oh, it's ripped. Is that gone? Off the wall? That'll be two.
Re-zip.
Right? Let's go.
Off the wall. Let's freaking go.
Raise up.
Yandy double. We got a guy on second, 2 outs for Randy coming up?
Believe so.
Okay, cool. Good.
You might be the worst.
Please.
You might be the worst 2-out hitter in the history of baseball, though, so I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Nice.
One nut Yandy is crazy.
Honestly, dude, I respect the heck out of it. What a beast. One nut, no problem. Okay? He's still carrying that team. Unbelievable. What a beast. I can't even imagine it. Like, that's the injury you got? And everyone knows? The media knows?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
How do you even go about recovering that? I don't even want to know.
Well, he didn't. Maybe that's a story. He's back on the field. He's back on the field. So he went through recovering. Yeah, he recovered from doing what? Just going out there and hitting a 2-run double.
Okay. Spawndo 2, chat saying. Spawndo 2.
I bet.
Okay. One nut. Everyone knows the rule. Okay, I bet. Randy Bang, K-Sav. What's the deal, bro?
Yeah, find the bin, brother.
What's the deal here, K-Sav? Why are you saying Randy Bang?
Find the bin.
Mods. Hate to do it to an OG. We're going to need to put him in timeout. K-Sav, maybe you'll learn your lesson next time. Okay? We can't be fake banging in chat.
Can't be having fake bangs.
The only rule.
That's what we get.
Golly. Can we get a Tigers and Reds play and also maybe a prize picks angle for our guy Flyer Faithful real quick?
Oh, that's such a gross, really confusing game. I'm not going to lie. And yet meat grinder is crazy, Fat Girls. That's insane. But yeah, I'm a little worried for the Reds today. I'm not going to lie. This is Tigers team teams. People forget. Trent had hit this bet, but he also tripped the Reds in about 5 seconds, and they immediately scored 5 unanswered runs.
Attaboy, Trent. Good work.
Five straight runs.
Good work, Trent.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
It's a rare win-win, though.
A rare win-win. Super rare win-win. But yeah, today I'm a little worried. I mean, they're not great against lefties in general, but this is the first time in a while they faced like one of these veteran guys. And Erod has been pitching very well. You thought, Yellow Mendez is not wrong necessarily, but first time he's faced a lot of these veteran guys who are going to be very picky with how they kind of approach them. So like obviously they've played 63 rookies, I think, through the course of the season, or 63 different players, a lot of rookies throughout the season. They have plenty in the lineup today. So I'm a little worried if I was going to take anything prize picks in this game, the only way that I would back either sides of the bats is with Jonathan India, who is ridiculous right now. I mean, he's kind of the key to their little run now. He's been ridiculous since he came back. Him and Joey Votto. Votto hasn't been as good, but Jonathan India has been great. He's got hit run RBI up today. He's been great against lefties too, specifically. So that would be the one. Not really sure on what to do with this game as far as the cider total, to be honest with you. I would lean Tigers, but not meat on table enough to play it.
Okay. Lean Tigers on the ML. If you need a 2-piece on prize picks for the game, you can go ahead and put in Jonathan India, more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I'll go ahead and volunteer a square that I like. Hopefully he plays. Parker Meadows, more than half a TB. If he doesn't, that's okay. It's really the only options we got here, but he's a red out gob. I wouldn't mind him.
I heard them on the broadcast yesterday. I haven't looked at. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but he was like on like a 1 for 25 streak or something crazy. And they, which I was pissed at the time because they walked him in like a pretty crucial situation. So like he's been terrible. So I wouldn't mind taking that.
Let's take him. There's your 2-piece Flyer faithful. Parker Meadows, more than half a TB. Jonathan India, more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And if you need a play on the books, go ahead and lock in Tigers ML as a lean. Okay. Who the fuck is this Rutledge kid? I've never seen him before. Davey, you literally are the manager. That's
a terrible sign from the manager there.
He's pulling a Ron Rivera here. He's saying he doesn't know who the heck he's good on his own team. It sounded like a buffon. Come on, Davey. God, put the bottle down. But if you guys want to run down on this kid, he might get roughed up a little bit today. Jackson Rutledge. He was a first-round pick for us a couple years ago. He's had a bazillion injuries. He's 6'8". He's a behemoth of a person. He's ginormous, but he is kind of sketchy. He's not been unbelievable in the minors, although he has great stuff. He's a fastball slider guy. He's been throwing his changeup a little bit more, and I do think he gets a little roughed up today. Nats, besides Strasburg, always get roughed up in their debut. The pitchers do. I don't know what it is, Javon. I think it's because our organization is so freaking bad at grooming these arms themselves and getting them ready for the big leagues and improving these dudes that they come up like a chicken with their head cut off. So I am on the over in the Nats game. There's a play for me. Give me the over. I think we see runs. I like what I'm seeing on the prize picks board for this game. A lot of Nats squares. I think we do get runs from the Nats against Selby, who's atrocious in that Pirates bullpen. And I also think Rutledge probably struggles a little bit, has some nerves in his MLB debut. The total in this game has moved up from 9 to 9.5. So I grab it while you can. This got bumped up on BTL. Give me the over.
Definitely have some cold feet on that over. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a little bit because I don't know the pitching plan behind Selby. Nationals, like whenever they face a bullpen game, they're terrible. I don't know if that's like a lack of preparation thing or what. They can't score. It's like even though Selby sucks, I don't know who's coming in behind him. And then Rutledge, like I think he'll have one of those innings today where he's bad. But overall, like against the Pirates lineup, I don't mind him, especially because like he's going to attack the strike zone and kind of make them hit. And when they have these really good offensive outings, anybody except like Brian Reynolds or like the occasional Brian Hayes / Sawinski appearance, like it's a lot of free bases, a lot of walks, a lot of patience that kind of get them runs and base runners. Trent, man.
Trent, dudes. If every square hit, we would be on our own private island in Cabo, brother. That was a shitty square, and it cost you 10 G's. Okay, now I actually do feel bad.
That was the only one of that 4 that missed. I was pissed.
Oh, no.
It's unreal.
Trent. That's brutal. And it got taken off literally a second after you locked it in. And you definitely would have put something else in there. That's so deep. Oh. Okay. Yep. I'll take the blame for that since he's in that. That's on me. I use square today. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving, Javon. Take us through a couple other big games you like and you have plays in. All right. Let the people know the milk on the MLB slate.
Yeah. I guess we can jump to the ones that I actually have plays in instead of these games, which Braves Phillies is awesome, but I don't really have that great of a take on that.
Let's talk about Sanchez real quick. He is up for 1.5 walks allowed, and he's up for that earned run square. I do think he gets roughed up. I did want to initially fade the Braves today because if they win, they do clinch the NL East, and they win that division, they get the pennant. So I did want to fade, and I like the way the money line's coming down. But I do think Sanchez, by looking at prize picks, that he gets roughed up today. So maybe it's the over in that game.
Could be. Yeah, I wouldn't hate that play.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, I guess we can jump to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Guess that's the next one that I have stuff in. Or that's a
Please.
little later. I guess that's not the next one, but or I guess that's up. Drew Rahm, like I said, is kind of the complete opposite of Adam Wainwright. I mean, they both are terrible at what they get paid to do, but Rahm, he's going to throw them a lot of fastballs early in the zone. He's going to attack like fastball sinker early in the count quite a bit, which is exactly kind of what the Orioles want you to do. They're super aggressive, especially early in counts, especially in the top of that lineup too. So like from the left side, where they've been a top 5 team in baseball for the last couple months in terms of like WRC plus, they hit the ball hard too, which Drew Rahm really struggles against, or struggles against teams that hit the ball hard because he gives up a lot of hard hits and barrels. This is kind of a perfect matchup for them. And so especially after they got masterclassed on by Adam Wainwright yesterday, a pitcher that is the complete inverse of this, I want to back them today to score some runs. I struggled finding a way that I wanted to play this, so I'm still kind of in flux. Like I stuck with the money line, I'd lay it there, just because the team total is 5.5, 6 now, or like you need 6 to win. The over, I kind of like Kyle Gibson today, but the Cards bats are such a question mark. So I just think they win this game. I might sprinkle on a little run line too, just in case. But that's my play there. I think Rahm gets destroyed, and all in for a couple Orioles squares today.
Chad, you know what's about to happen today. We all took the over yesterday. I think it hits today. I do. Gibson sketches me out, Javon, personally. I think he's kind of been fading a little bit towards the end of the season. He's been struggling the last month or so. I think the Cardinals bats, who are hot, do enough to put up some runs. And I think Rahm gets absolutely obliterated by the Orioles.
Yeah.
So I'll be on the over in this game.
Yep. Respect it.
Word. You're going to go ahead and fear the juice, or not fear the juice and embrace it. Maybe a little 2U on the ML for Baltimore. Don't be scared.
Yeah, I might do that. I'm debating between that and then laying it, and then a little half U on the run line there.
Okay.
So I do think they destroy them, to be honest with you.
I agree. I think there'll be plenty of runs. Plenty of runs in this one. Okay.
Yeah, big question mark there. But yeah, I like that. We can go Oakland, Houston. I have a plan as well.
Sure.
That might be the next one that I do have a plan. I guess we can talk about Blue Jays in a second, but I like the over in this game. Paul Blackburn, Hunter Brown. Really, this is another one for me where I'm banking a lot on the Astros bats, but I mean their team total is also 5.5, 6 runs. So taking the over for me is kind of like Hunter Brown insurance because he's been pretty terrible as of, I don't know, the last couple months, really the entire second half of the season. He's been god awful. The A's bats, for whatever reason in this series, have been pretty live, and they've seen Hunter Brown before. I like their matchups, face adjacent or whatever you want to say. Take off the name for Hunter Brown, and they have a lot of good matchups against him, especially up top of that lineup that's been seeing bowling balls at the plate, which is crazy. So I do think he's going to be decent today. I don't think he's going to get blown up, but just in case he does, I want to take the over because I do think the Astros score a lot of runs off of Blackburn. And Blackburn, he's seen the Astros once this year, but it was kind of their little JV lineup. It was when Greg Kessinger was leading off in that game. So there's no Altuve, there's no Jordan, there was no Brantley. I don't know if he's going to play today, but this is a much different lineup that he's going to be facing today. And he's been getting a little progressively worse throughout the season as well. So I'm down to go with a lot of Astros runs today, but I do think the A's can scratch a couple off of Brown too. So I'm taking the over in the game, especially, A's bullpen, if we want to get into that after they've been so good for the past couple days, all in for some late runs.
Now we fade. And have both games in this series gone under in the first 2, I believe?
Believe so. The Astros haven't scored. Like they had only a handful of runs in both of those games. They've been silent offensively for the most part.
Yep. I'm with it. K-Sap, bro, you can't be fake banging. I love you. You're a beast. You're an OG. Yeah. You know what you did, though. You know what you did. Don't act like you did. All right, but you're back. W's. Blackburn 0-4 with a 9.5 ERA against the Astros. Jeesh. And we got another raised bang. I'm sure it wasn't Randy, but that's okay. They're stacking them up.
Curtis Mead, W?
He's a guy. Yep.
He's been locked.
Sure. Around those bases, buddy. He's in there.
Paredes hustling.
He's in there.
Curtis Mead.
LC Squares already got bumped. Who's hitting the cycle?
Curtis Mead's got a triple and a double now.
All right. Curtis Mead on home run watch, chat. Let us know.
Could be.
W's. Wait, do we actually have a bang? Yeah, we got a bang.
Yeah, 4-0.
W's. Okay. All right, Javon, what else, my man? You mentioned Texas Toronto. You got a play in that you like or no?
Not a play that I love in that, but I do think this is a pretty good Blue Jays spot for banking on a bounce back game. Crucial series here. The Rangers against lefties too. They were a powerhouse for like a majority of the season. They're still not terrible, but they've regressed a little bit, especially against guys like Kikuchi. So I do think that Kikuchi's going to pitch pretty well today, and Jordan Montgomery is going to struggle a little bit. The Jays have been pretty putrid in pretty much all aspects except against lefties. That's where they still succeed. Jordan Montgomery, if you can make him work and get into that Rangers bullpen pretty early, like that's a pretty big recipe for disaster. And he's had trouble against a lot of the better teams against the lefties, keeping his pitch count down. He hasn't been incredibly efficient, so like the Jays. I think they're going to go in with that approach today, knowing that's how you kind of get success against this pitching staff in general. So I do think they scratch out a win. I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think either of these pitchers get roughed up. I think it's like a close, like 4-3, 5-3 type win for the Rangers or for the Blue Jays, and they scratch out a win on this series. Pretty big one.
Okay, that is a big win. Two teams fighting for playoff spots. Okay,
They need it. They need it bad.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
All right, Red Sox Yanks, Schmidt versus Huck. Any thoughts? Any opinions?
None crazy. I kind of like. I'd wish the second game at least yesterday. I guess both of them. I think both of them went under, right? Wish we would have gone a little different, but I do kind of like both these guys to pitch well today, and I kind of like the under, but I'm not willing to die on that hill again after we saw a little 2-0 stretch yesterday. But I do like at least Clark Schmidt. I think he's going to be good against everybody not named, like Rafael Devers. Struggles against lefties a lot. You got a couple in that lineups, not many that I fear right now with the way they're seeing the ball. He's actually sneakily gotten a little better against them throughout the season too. So I don't mind his matchups. And I think Tanner Houck, the one issue with him today for me is I don't think he's going to have the same swing and miss stuff that he's had, or like it is pretty crucial to his success. Like the Yankees are going to put the ball in play against him, which is my main concern because when he has gotten the ball put in play against him, he gets hit hard. Obviously, the Yankees are pretty bad against righties, obviously, but could be a struggle point for Tanner Houck today. I would not mind taking a stab at his under strikeouts, which is a little scary, I guess, with the Yankees against a righty. But I do think there's going to be plenty of balls put in play from them today, which is my concern for the under. But yeah, that's the only reason why I'm not going to the grave with anything today, because you look at everything, it's tough.
That's fair. All right, I got two squares in this game I like. All right, I've been wondering why I haven't heard all this Judge slurpage over the last week or two. Was thinking maybe it's because the NFL is back, Javon. Maybe people were focused on, bigger fish to fry. Wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't be losing sleep over Aaron Judge, not with how he's been hitting. My goodness, it's crazy, man. You go to a U.S. Open at 2 a.m., you act like you're checked out in the public, you're out drinking, celebrating when your team stinks and they're not making the playoffs and they just made you a captain this year. And once again, you're letting down, the biggest fan base in all sports, not making the playoffs again. But, Aaron Judge, guys, he's a person too. Maybe he's just going through a slump. I don't know. Either way, though, that guy is so not dialed right now at the plate. He is so checked out. He is so ready for next season. He doesn't give a shit out there right now. And I don't even blame him. Because the rest of the squad around him, maybe he's looking around saying, what the hell did I get myself into? This is great. I'm a captain. Awesome. I'm the Yankees, best player, most beloved player in New York, right? That's awesome. But you're really locking in to being on that team and being the captain of that team with the players they're surrounding you with. So maybe he's just a little checked out. I don't know. Either way, the results have not been there. He has been cold as ice. Let's take a look at his total bases. He has been a red out gulp. And I would not mind fading Aaron Judge when he's in a slump. When he's hot, you don't fade him. Honestly, maybe even you back him. I wouldn't blame you for it. But when he's cold, Giovanni said this a bazillion times, he is fadeable. He is streaky as heck. And with Aaron Judge, at least on Prize Picks, it's as simple as looking at the damn chart, seeing how he's been doing, and back in the same exact chart, okay? He's been cold. He's in a slump. That's not changing today. Keep fading until he gets out of it. Give me his less than 1.5 TBs. He's not getting on base.
Yeah, there you go.
I got a real square for you, though. I got a real square for you in this game.
Let's hear it.
All right. Pablo Lopez. Ever heard of him? Actually, Pablo Reyes. Pablo Lopez is not a hitter on the Red Sox. He's a pitcher. Pablo Reyes, the old athletics guy, Javon. This kid's kind of magical at the plate. And he kind of comes through in the clutch for the Red Sox. He's got a 300 batting average. A little weird that he's up, in my opinion, on the board. So I'll be back in his more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. He's been a little bit cold recently. And yep, there it goes. See ya. Aaron Judge hits his 5th home run of the day in 5 at-bats, breaking an MLB record. Sure. But Pablo Reyes, folks, remember the name, not a big name guy. He was an athletic, but he's been balling on the Red Sox. Honestly, one of the most consistent hitters, but he's been in a little bit of a slump recently. I thought it was super weird they're picking tonight to put his square up. I already see it as green. Lock in Pablo Reyes, more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs today.
Yeah, I don't mind that square one bit.
Good.
One bit.
W's. Any other squares or plays you like before we get the squad ride going?
No, not in this game. I guess only play I haven't mentioned is the Brewers, which I think that line is a little telling with a bullpen game. They have an opener of McGill, and then I think they're going to Colin Rea for a little shortened outing. But now they're moving up to around -120 against Braxton Garrett, which I heard somebody come on Surgical Stream the other day, I think, and say the Brewers were bad against lefties again, which is pretty far from the case, which I looked at it after, and they've been the 3rd best team in the last month against lefties. No shot, dude. No shot he did. He's just so him. He might be the greatest of all time.
I mean, you can't make it up. Chat, you guys were here. He did it again.
Every time we say his name, we just got to take it. That's on me.
Why didn't we take it, Javon? What are we doing?
I'll take responsibility for that one.
Oh my God. Every time we say his name, he's like freaking Voldemort. He just appears.
Bonds, dude. He's Bonds.
Golly. Every time we say Matt Wallner, the guy hits a home run. You can't make it up, chat. You just saw it firsthand on this show. Holy smokes. Do you guys believe us now?
That's crazy. He's him.
Jesus Christ.
So him.
And we got another home run. Farmer Nuke. That ball's destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see.
That ball hasn't landed yet. Jesus.
Yeah. We knew the solo shots were coming for Taj. They always do.
Oof. Unbelievable. All right, we got to get the squad ride going. But damn. You can't make it up, folks. We literally told you every time we say his name, he hits a nuke. And what did he do? He hit a nuke.
He's just
unbelievable.
Unreal.
God. Barry Wallner.
Barry Wallner, literally.
All right, squad ride. Let's get going. Javon, favorite plays today? Hit me with them.
The over in the A's Astros game.
Love that. Yep.
I don't know. For squad ride purposes, I don't really know how we want to play the Orioles, but something in there. Maybe if you just like the over in that game, going back to it, I wouldn't hate that in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, I like the over the best in that game, but if you'd rather go with Orioles team total or something like that, it wouldn't be a best.
I mean, I'm probably going to play the ML, but that's pretty juicy for a squad ride, so I don't hate the over in that game.
Okay. It's moving our way. I'm starting to see some 10s pop up.
Yep.
All right. Let's take the over. I like it. It's one of my favorite plays today. St. Louis, Baltimore. Chat, you know what happens when we run back a squad ride after cake. All right. Let's hope we get that same result. Over 9.5. You might have to get 10. If that's the case, that's okay. And we move.
Yep.
What else, Javon? What else do we like on this Moose slate?
Brewers ML.
Yeah. Milwaukee ML.
Yes.
Okay. Now we could cut it down and make it a 3-piece. Looking at the rest of these games, I'm not loving anything else.
Yeah, it's kind of another weird Moose slate. I guess it just might be the series that are happening.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate the over in Atlanta, Philly. I don't hate the Dodgers in some capacity today.
Yeah.
But if you put them in, that's hitting. Killer Trey, I tried to look at WNBA, and I hate the plays today. I tried. I really did. Javon, do you like the Dodgers tonight?
Yeah, like, don't love. Honestly, I think that's a square under in that game, so I don't really want to touch it.
Okay.
Yeah,
why don't we just roll with these 3 plays?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, this slate is Moose. Are we getting more runs, more hits? Taj is getting banged up right now. Jeesh. Okay. That's going to be sweaty. Chat, 3 plays, 3 winners for the BTL squad ride. I want to see 100 votes for the winner. We got 500 people in here. No excuses to not hit 100 on the winning vote. Everyone in here in the Twitch chat, there's a poll up, BTL squad ride. Click on it and click the right button. Pick your favorite play on the board today between Oakland, Houston over 9, St. Louis, Baltimore over 9.5, and Milwaukee on the ML. All right, you guys talked about us not going over Thursday Night Football or the college football games this week. We will go over those games tomorrow and Friday when they're happening. Okay, the look ahead line segment is just to go over the weekend lines once the lines drop this week. Just to touch on them, just to get a feel of them, just to get the thoughts out there, right? Get the brains turning, get the gears working. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
We'll do plenty of Eagles versus Vikings talk tomorrow, but you guys could probably already guess where I'm leaning right now. You could probably already guess 2 words. Skull. Skull. All right?
Yeah.
What's up, Big Bird? How we doing, Beast? Chat, hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get your votes in. What are we doing? Get your freaking votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. You got 1 minute. Javon, any last-second thoughts about Thursday Night Football?
We can save it for tomorrow, man.
You want to save it?
We'll save the talk for tomorrow, man. Don't need
Somebody's
to
not
get
locked.
fired up. Oh no, I'm so locked. Trust me. We have been deep in the PP board for one, but
Yes.
yeah, we got some looks.
Okay. Good. Jack, get your votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. We need 15 more votes on the winner. It looks like it's going to be Oakland, Houston, which I'm happy about. That might be the best play on the board today, but we need more votes. Hurry up. You got 3 seconds. Go, 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 go. And it's too late. But we got Oakland and Houston. We got a bunch of votes. All right. I think we got 96. So freaking close. We'll take it, chat. Oakland versus Houston. Over 9 tonight. You're getting plenty of bangs, plenty of runs between the Athletics and the Astros. Chat, big game tonight. Blake Snell's pitching. Make sure you stick around for the Surge stream and see how Trent's betting that game. Is he fading his go well? Is he tailing his go well? I don't know. Let's see what he does. Stick around for the Surge stream, and we'll catch you guys on here tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing.
We will.